Welcome back to another IELTS reading lesson, everyone. It's good to see you here. This lesson, we'll be looking at strategies that you can use to answer table and flowchart completion questions. We've been going through various question types and how to answer them, and for this lesson, we'll be looking at how to answer table and flowchart completion questions. If you'd like to check out how to answer the other question types that we have gone through so far, you can have a look at the previous lessons. All right then, let's get started. Let's start off by looking at the tasks that need to be completed for these question types. For table completion questions, you will have to complete the table given to you by using the correct word or words from the passage. Now, both these question types are similar and the tasks for the flowchart questions are the same. On to the requirements for table completion. As we can see, here's what table completion questions look like. You'll be given a table of information with gaps in it. You'll have to fill those gaps in with the appropriate words from the passage. Have a look at the instructions as well. We can see that this requires you to write no more than 3 words and or a number. On to another example. Now you can see the instructions here are slightly different. The instructions will change depending on the paper, but it will always have some sort of word limit, so please do read the instructions carefully. Now let's look at the flowchart completion. As I mentioned before, these are similar to table completion questions. The only difference is the layout, as we can see in the following slides. These question types test your ability to scan for specific information, skim for general meaning, understand paraphrasing, and in turn understand synonyms, and read in detail for meaning. As we can see, and I will emphasize again, brushing up on your speed reading skills and paraphrasing skills are essential. If you need to refresh your memory, you can check out the lessons on IELTS Reading Strategies 1 and 2, Skimming and Scanning, and Identifying Paraphrases. Again, the main difference between the two question types is the way the information is laid out. A point to note is that the information in the table or flowchart will match the information in the text, but it will very likely be paraphrased and include synonyms. We're going to move on to some tips and key points that you can keep in mind when attempting these question types. First of all, if the layout looks unfamiliar to you, don't panic. All you need to do is complete the task. It will be the same no matter what it looks like. Second of all, the information in the table may appear in a different order to the matching information in the reading text. So that's why you'll have to read in a little detail to make sure you find the correct information. It's important that you fill the gaps with the exact words from the text. Don't use synonyms or your answer will be marked incorrect. This is where the importance of reading the instructions comes into play. This will usually tell you to use words from the passage as well as how many you need to use. You can use your prediction skills in order to help you when you first study the table. Try to work out what type of word is missing, for example, a noun, a verb, an adjective, or even an adverb. Next, you should always be thinking about synonyms and paraphrasing. Look for matching meaning rather than exact word matches when comparing the information in the table and the text. Scanning to find the location of the answer and then reading in detail to find the answer itself is a good way to approach these question types. Make sure that after you've filled in the gap, the completed sentences are grammatically correct. If they aren't, then you have the wrong answer. And last but not least, you don't need to understand everything. Even if some of the vocabulary is unfamiliar, you'll probably be able to work out the answer from the context and other clues. Here are some strategies to help you attempt these question types. First of all, read the instructions carefully and note how many words you're required to write in the gaps. For example, no more than 2 words. As we discussed, if you write more than what is required, even if some part of your answer is correct, you will be marked incorrectly. Look at the layout of the table and work out the best way to read it. Note any headings that will give you clues as to its subject and the content. Use your skimming skills to quickly read through the sentence or phrases with gaps in it to get a general idea of what information you'll be looking for in the text. Using your prediction skills, try to work out what type of word is missing in each case. For example, again, a noun, a verb, or an adjective. Skim read the text to get a general understanding of what it's about and write keywords or ideas besides each paragraph. This will help you quickly find the information again later in case you skip the question and come back to it. Next, go back to the table and read the first phrase or sentence with a gap in it. Select keywords and scan the text for them in order to locate the paragraph that contains the answer. Then go and read the section of the text you've identified in detail to find the answer. Remember that synonyms and paraphrasing may have been used. Check that your answer makes sense and that it's grammatically correct and doesn't go over the word limit. And last but not least, make sure you check your spelling. Again, even if you have the right idea or word, but the spelling is incorrect, your answer will be marked wrong. And plus, there really shouldn't be any spelling mistakes as you're taking the exact words from the passage. And there we have it, all about the table and flowchart completion question types. Do have a go at practicing these question types so that you can master them and nail it if it comes in the exam. Before we sign off, let's do a quick recap. During the lesson, we learned all about table and flowchart completion questions. We understood what is being assessed, took on some tips and tricks, and learned strategies on how to conquer these question types. Looking forward to having you join the next lesson where we'll go through how to answer short answer questions. See you then!